I'll fix your fence for free, but I have one condition. Tonight, I'll sleep between the two of you. Before we dive into the story, don't forget to like the video and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. The sun was sinking behind the hills when Daniel finally noticed the broken fence. Half of it leaned awkwardly, the rest scattered across the dry ground like forgotten bones. He had been meaning to fix it for weeks, but work never seemed to end, and every day brought a new, more urgent problem. He stood there for a moment, hands on his hips, staring at the damage as if it might somehow repair itself. A long sigh escaped his chest. He knew it would take hours, maybe a full day, to fix it. Just as he bent down to pick up a loose plank, he heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned quickly. Strangers were rare out here. Two figures approached slowly along the dusty path, their pace cautious, almost hesitant. As they came closer, he could see them clearly. A woman wrapped in a worn shawl, her face marked by exhaustion, and beside her, a young girl clutching her hand tightly, as if letting go would mean losing everything. They stopped a few feet away. For a moment, no one spoke. The wind whispered through the broken fence, carrying a strange tension with it. "Sir," the woman finally said, her voice quiet but steady, "we saw your land from the road. We don't have much, but we can work. We just need a place to stay tonight." Daniel studied them carefully. He wasn't a cruel man, but life had taught him to be careful. People didn't just wander into places like this without a reason. His eyes drifted back to the fence, then returned to the pair. Before he could answer, the woman stepped forward. "I'll fix your fence for free," she said, her tone firm despite her exhaustion. Then she hesitated, as if what came next carried weight. "But I have one condition." Daniel frowned. "What condition?" She glanced at the girl. "Tonight, I'll sleep between the two of you." Daniel's brows furrowed instantly. "Between us?" he repeated. The woman nodded, her voice soft now. "She hasn't slept properly in days. She's scared of the dark and of being alone. I just need her to feel safe. For one night." Daniel looked at the girl, really looked at her. There was fear in her eyes, deep and unspoken, the kind no child should carry. Something inside him shifted. Suspicion softened into something quieter, something human. After a pause, he exhaled. "All right," he said, "you can stay." As the last light of the sun faded behind the hills, the broken fence no longer felt like the biggest problem on his land. Something else had arrived. Something uncertain, fragile, and perhaps far more important than he yet understood. Morning came quietly, wrapped in soft golden light that slipped through the cracks of Daniel's small house. He woke to an unfamiliar sound. Steady, rhythmic, purposeful, hammering. He stepped outside and stopped. The woman, Eliza, was already at work. Sleeves rolled up, movements precise despite her exhaustion. She lifted heavy wooden posts as if she had done it 100 times before. "You didn't have to start so early," Daniel called out. Eliza didn't stop. "It's better to finish what you promise," she replied calmly. Nearby, Mia sat on the ground, knees pulled to her chest. She wasn't trembling like before, but she stayed close, still cautious, still afraid, but less than before. Daniel picked up a tool and joined her. At first, they worked in silence, only the sound of hammering and wood falling into place. But silence has a way of bringing people closer. "You've done this before," Daniel said. Eliza nodded faintly. "You learn things when you don't have a choice. Where are you from?" She paused. "Different places," she said quietly. None of them felt like home. Mia moved closer to her, gripping her dress. Daniel noticed the quiet way a child asks for safety, without saying a word. By midday, half the fence stood tall again. Sweat lined Daniel's forehead, but Eliza kept going, as if stopping meant thinking. And thinking was something she wanted to avoid. "What are you running from?" Daniel finally asked. This time, she stopped. For a long moment, she said nothing. The wind whispered again. "Not running," she said softly. "Just trying to find a place where we don't have to." Daniel didn't reply. He understood enough. As days passed, The fence was rebuilt, but something else was rebuilt too. Mia began to smile. Her fear faded, replaced by laughter that echoed across the land. She followed Daniel everywhere, asking questions, helping with small tasks. Even the animals seemed to trust her. Eliza changed too. The tension in her shoulders eased. She smiled more, slept peacefully. For the first time, she stopped looking over her shoulder. One evening, as the sky turned golden, Eliza stood by the finished fence. "I think this is the first place that feels like we can stay," she said softly. Daniel stepped beside her. "Then stay. Simple. Honest. You don't even know our past," she said. Daniel smiled faintly. "Maybe not, but I know what I see now, and that's enough." At that moment, Mia came running toward them. "Are we staying?" she asked, her eyes full of hope. Eliza looked at Daniel, then nodded. "Yes, we are." Mia's face lit up. She hugged Eliza, then pulled Daniel in too. For a second, he froze, then he smiled. That night felt different, not because of fear, not because of a condition, but because of something new, belonging. Before sleeping, Mia whispered softly, "This feels like home." Daniel looked at Eliza.